Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So before we get started, I have something to share. I love organization. That's right. I know that my fitness channel here is all about helping women over 50 become stronger and more fit. And that's why I have to share with you my love of organization. Give me a deadline, I'm going to meet it. You have a task to complete, it's going to get done. You want a plan? I got that plan for you. That's just the type of person that I am. But it also helps when it comes to me coaching other women over 50 to meet their goals and when it comes to fitness in general. And so in this video, I'm going to share a little bit about tracking and how tracking will help you organize all of your actions and help you meet your fitness goals. You see, tracking is really a way to help you stay focused, to help you accomplish your task, and really to help you have a plan to meet your desired goal. So if you have a fitness goal, tracking is just a way for you to identify what that goal is and then to set a plan that you can carry out that will allow you to meet that goal. It's a way to help you keep data and to monitor that data just to determine how well you're doing along your journey. Now, I know for some people, tracking might seem a bit over the top, or maybe is overwhelming, or maybe you just don't feel like putting that much effort into tracking. But let me give you an example. We monitor and we track things that are important to us. For example, let's say you have a budget and you identify how much money you have to spend on your budget every month. Well, you're going to track and you're going to monitor how much you spend. So at the end of the month, you have enough money. That's important. So you monitor your budget. Same thing for your fitness goals. Your fitness goals should be so important that you want to monitor them and you want to track your progress so that you have an idea how well you're doing along your journey. You know, I've talked to women and they tell me, I've tried everything to reach my goals, whether it's losing body fat or whether it's getting stronger in their deadlifts or whether it's just progressing in how long they can go for walks. And when I ask them, well, what have you tried? They are able to tell me what they tried, but they may not be able to tell me how consistent they were in their efforts. They may not be able to tell me how long they've been attempting to reach their goal. And I'm here to tell you, if you track or monitor the actions that you're taking, you're going to make progress towards your goal because you're going to know exactly what you're doing, what's working, and what's not working. Okay, now, tracking can be as simple or as involved as you want it to be. So, for example, let's say that you just simply want to start your fitness journey. You want to make sure that you are moving every single day. So you set a goal of a 30-minute walk daily for the next 30 months. That would be 30 days, not 30 months. Tracking can be as simple as you using a calendar. And on that calendar, each day that you walk your 30 minutes, you put an X on the calendar for that day. So that at the end of 30 days, you can look back at the calendar and you can actually see how many days you've walked for 30 minutes and how many days you didn't walk for 30 minutes. And here's taking that to another level. You might say that every day that I walk, I'm going to put an X on the calendar. Let's say, however, that you walk one day and you walk 15 minutes instead of 30 minutes. On the calendar for that day, you wouldn't put an X, but you would put 15 minutes. That's data because that tells you that while you didn't walk 30 minutes, you did walk. But on the days that there's not an X or even something written in, you know that you didn't walk. Why is this important? This is important because at the end of 30 days, you get to assess how consistent you are and how close you are to reaching your goals. But you're not assessing that based on how you feel. You're assessing that based on facts. And those facts are the number of X's that you've drawn in on your calendar. All right, let me show you another example of tracking. And this will actually be my personal example. So last spring, I went into a fat loss phase. And I knew that I wanted to have some success, obviously, in that fat loss phase. So I knew that it was important for me to track so that I could monitor my progress. So, with that said, I decided to track the amount of protein that I took in on a daily basis, the amount of calories that I took in on a daily basis, the number of steps that I took, as well as this last factor, and that is whether or not I had alcohol or not. My goal was to limit my alcohol during this fat loss phase. So, what I did was I created a spreadsheet. Now, again, this spreadsheet might be a little more advanced. However, what it allowed me to do was to really monitor not just my overall progress, but my daily progress. And in addition to those factors, because I was in a fat loss phase, I also measured my weight. However, I did that on a weekly basis instead of a daily basis. So, as you can see in this spreadsheet, I not only monitored my daily progress, but I set goals. I had to know what I was aiming for each day. So I had to have goals for each of the things, each of the factors that I was measuring. So I had number one, a protein goal daily. I had number two, a calorie goal daily. I had a daily step goal, and also the goal for alcohol was to be none. So you can see that I knew what I was measuring. So I didn't just measure, but I also had those factors or those numbers that I wanted to reach for each factor that I was measuring. It's important to know the target that you're aiming for. I also just want to share that tracking is not about being perfect. That's not the purpose of tracking. Tracking is about monitoring your consistency because consistency is key. You can even see in my spreadsheet how there were days that I met all of my targets. There were days that I met some of my targets, and there were days that I met none of my targets. And that's okay because tracking shows how your daily efforts and your consistency will affect your overall goal. All right, I have another example for you. Let's say that you are starting your strength training journey and you want to monitor and track how strong you're getting, as well as how consistent you are in your strength training journey. I'm going to share with you an example of how tracking for your strength training journey may look. Again, here I'm using a spreadsheet and I'm showing you a personal example of my tracking, I think earlier this spring, but it might look something like this. When you're using tracking or you're monitoring your exercise program or your strength training program, you should include the information or the data that's going to help you determine how well you're progressing. So, for example, what you see here is the name of the exercise. You see how many sets of the exercise were completed and how many reps of the exercise were completed. You also see comments that include how much was lifted as well as how I felt. If it felt easy, if it felt difficult, if my back was hurting, if it didn't work today, so I did a different exercise. All of that is information or data that helps you build on your strength training for the next time that you actually do those same exercises. Again, it's important to keep information and data if you're looking for improvement. We monitor those things that are important to us. Here's my thing. When you track, there is no guesswork, and I love that. I don't want to be guessing and wondering if what I'm doing is working, or if I'm moving towards my goal, or if I'm accomplishing what I set out to accomplish. I want to know. And one of the ways that you can do that is by tracking. When it comes to your fitness journey, if it's important to you to reach that goal, then it's important that you take a little extra effort and make sure that you monitor, you keep data, and you actually know that you have a plan. So if you have a fitness goal and you feel like you've tried everything, I want you to try tracking. So before I leave, I want to just say that there are also a lot of different apps that you can use to help you track and to help you monitor what goals that you have. Again, just make sure that you're measuring the right targets. That's really important because measuring the correct targets and measuring them accurately and honestly will help you move closer to your goal. Okay, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for being here, for watching this YouTube video, and also for being here on my channel.